Hello guys and welcome to another unboxing video here on ZapFeed. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Neewer NF04 floor lamp. This is an RGB really cool looking light that's going to look amazing, hopefully, in my current setup. We're actually going to be using it in this office if it looks cool. Now Neewer did send this product out for review, so big thank you to them for doing that, but Neewer have not paid me at all to make this video. All of the thoughts and opinions about these products are, as always, my own. Now, this is a very exciting product for me. This is a very exciting sort of unboxing and overall review that we're going to do because I think this is going to be a really nice addition to the actual videos that we're making here. This is going to be something that I'll hopefully put in the background, maybe just there, if it looks good. So, big moments here for us on the channel. Now, looking at the overall box, this actually came as the entire box. So it wasn't in another box. This was the box that it arrived. So hence the stickers that I've had to do a decent enough job of removing. But hopefully your box won't look as sort of stickered up. But this is a smart RGB light. It's floor standing. It faces the wall. Has a really nice glow on it, as you can see on the pictures here as well. It's RGBW as well. So it's got 1,000 lumens of light output. It's got 2,700 to 6,500 K, which I believe is kelvins. I could be wrong with that. As well, 30,000 H for LED lights. I'm not too sure what 30,000 H means. So yes, I'm trying to look at my nose. Is there anything that means that? No, but this is a 54-inch tall light, so it's going to be quite a tall light and it's going to shine up against that wall really nicely. The overall box gives you a good amount of information as well. It tells you what it can be used for: focus, reading, and bedtime. Those are the things that you can use it for. As we see at the back as well, gives you a little bit more context of where you can use it, and of course some information about Neewer themselves. So I think that's it. Let's crack open the box. Let's have a look. Yep, you can do music mode, smart adjustment, lots of cool modes that this product has. So let's get right into it and open up this box. Now, I've actually been a big fan of Neewer's products for a while. I've used some of their stuff over the years, and a lot of I think these lights actually that I'm using are from Neewer. So I was very excited when they kindly sent this product out to me for review. However, we may need to whip out a knife because I'm not getting into this. One sec. Alright, scissors acquired. Let's now actually crack open this box. Hopefully it'll let us in. I just want to get in. I just want to see what this is going to look like. Let me in. Alright, we're in. Woo! Amazing. I don't think that's the box's fault. I think that's my fault. I'm just apparently not very good at opening boxes. Right, let's have a look at what is inside of this box. Has a very nice weight feel to it as well. Seems like there's going to be some high quality goods in here. So we're first greeted with the user manual, the warning: do not disassemble without authorization. What does that mean? I don't know. Anyway, we've got the instruction manual. I'm sure telling you how to actually build the thing because it's going to come in parts, I assume. Yeah, so it's going to come in a lot of different parts, which we'll have a look at right now. Let's take out this first layer of paper and card. So we've got this, we've got this, we've got this, and we've also got this. Now I'm assuming these all sort of go together and connect, but we'll build it all up when we can, don't you worry. Ooh, okay, this is where it starts to get interesting. This is the base. I actually know what this is. This is the base with the RGB light. So this, I believe, if we unravel it, is actually the RGB lighting itself. So let's undo this, undo that. And this is the thing that's going to sort of attach to the back of the light. Wow, it's sort of in like a really nice rubbery type feel material here, and this is obviously going to diffuse the light on the wall. It's not going to be so harsh and bright. It'll be nicely diffused and nicely sort of faded up on the wall to ensure that it's going to give some nice glow, which is exactly what I really need for this background, to be honest. I think this kind of ticks all the boxes, so that's good. We're going to need that because that's the light itself. Then the base, very weighty base, feels like a really solid quality product as well. I'm guessing this is where the light actually connects to the tube on that thing right there as the connection. Oh, we have another connection right there, so maybe it is actually that one that connects. We'll find out. But that's a really nice base. Doesn't feel like it's going to go anywhere. A lot of weight to it, which is of course what you need for a base. Let's have a look what else is left in the box. So we have got the actual plug the power supply for this product. We get rid of the plastic. So we've actually got this in 2 bits. We've got the actual plug that goes into the wall here in the UK. It's a 3-pin. Wherever you order it, it'll probably be for your own country. Then it, of course, has a standard connector, which then goes into this, which I believe is the controller. So this controller has got 3 buttons, rubber buttons as well, actually. They feel really nice. I like the feel of those. Plastic outer with, I believe, is that some sort of a... Is that some sort of like a remote IR sort of signal? I'm not too sure. So you've got an on-off switch, you've got a mode switch, and you've got, I assume, what's a lighting sort of brightness switch. This one connects to, that connects to the base. So that goes into there. Obviously, I haven't read the instructions yet, but I'm assuming that goes into there. That goes into there, and that's then your plug, and then the LEDs connect via the other socket. Okay, that makes sense. It's actually quite a simple product. Like, it comes with a lot of bits. And we've, obviously got a lot on the desk right here in the ZapFeed studio, but honestly, it's quite a simple product. Now, we've got one final box. That's the last of the big box. We'll get that out of the way. We've got one small box remaining. What's this going to contain? Is it going to contain some mini chocolates or something? No, it's not. It's going to contain some metal. I assume these are going to be connectors to bridge the gap between all 4 of our tubes, but I could be wrong. And what else have we got in here? We've also got some, oh dear, we've got some screws and everything. We've got screws. It also comes with this screwdriver, but it's not a sort of Phillips screwdriver. It's got, is that a hexagon? How many sides that got? It's so small I can barely see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so that's a hexagonal thing that you need. Right. Usually in these unboxing videos, I take the instruction manual and simply throw it away, but I think we're going to need it for this. So let's remove all of the other packaging that we have and somehow try to assemble this. That's the goal. Can we assemble this in this video without it being 1 hour and 15 minutes long? If it's 1 hour and 15 minutes long, then you know I've messed up. Right. So you've got, of course, a screwdriver, a screw, we've got the power adapter, we've got the multi-section extension stand, and 4 connectors, which are exactly what those are. Then you have a power button. Oh, it has a microphone for the music modes. That's what that is. That's a microphone, not an IR remote switch. You got a mode button, and you do have a brightness button as well, which is correct. Okay, so how do we assemble this? Align the screw holes on the connectors with those on the extension stand, and then use the screwdriver to fasten those screws. Okay, well that's okay. We can do that. So it comes with a few different ones, actually. Let's see, it's got a few different connectors. So there's this style of connector, and then there's one that is different, actually. It's got 2 smaller screw holes in there, compared to the rest of them that have bigger screw holes. So I'm guessing, let's see. It's quite a simple set of instructions, to be honest. This is literally the steps. These are the steps. There's 4 steps, really. Okay, so align the screw holes on the connectors with those on the extension stand, then use the screwdriver to fasten the screws. So the first thing we need to do is connect our first connector, a lot of connecting going on, to the base stand, which we can do. And this, I'm guessing, simply slides in there. I could be wrong. No, it does. It slides right in there. And then those screws are aligned on there. I don't know if you can really see that, but I've slid that into the top. And let's see. Slid it in. Wait. A little bit fiddly to get in. Slid it in, and then the screws are then aligned with the holes on the outside. And I think that's correct. And then we need to actually screw those in to the base, which I think is, yeah, it's these smaller screws. So you get those larger screws, and then these smaller ones, which I believe connect onto that. So let's do that now. These also use the same hexagonal way of screwing in that the screwdriver has. So let's start just screwing that one in there. As we need to make sure it's all lined up, actually. There we go. Okay, so that's in there. And then that one is in there. Really simple. And this is essentially going to be the start of our overall construction of these metal bits. So all we have to now do is essentially just slide all of these on. So I'm going to try and do it so you can see. I'm going to try and slide all of these on the side whilst not messing it up here. How do I do this? There's gotta be a trick to this that I'm missing. Aha, there we go. Okay. So that goes in there like that. And it connects onto the original connector. And then we use our smaller screws to actually connect that in. So let's do that now. There's one. And there's two. And essentially we just repeat that process with the rest of these going up and up and up, and we'll essentially get our finished frame for this LED strip to actually go into. So I'm going to do that right now, and I'll be back when we've got a finished frame and we'll do the rest of the installation. Okay, well there we go. That's now the overall frame now completed. It's rather tall. It's, you know, a decent height. I want to see, yeah, 54 inches tall. So yes, rather tall device. If I put it up towards the table, it almost hits the ceiling. So really quite simple to install and assemble, I should say. So now it's actually getting on to the next bit, which we've installed, and we've assembled all of those metal bars. Now we need to connect the power cords of the light strip and the base. Okay, so we can do that on the desk, hopefully, if it's not going to hit the ceiling. Okay, so the power strip and the base. How do we do that? Ah, this actually goes up through the bottom. I don't know if you can actually see that or not, but this goes up through the bottom, I believe. Yes, and then, oops, then it comes out of the top, or the bottom of the actual base, so that it can actually be, yeah, right, okay. So then that can actually attach to that. Okay, hang on. Let's attach that in. Just like this, hopefully. Which way does it go in? It goes in like that. Right, so it goes in that way. Make sure it's got a good connection here. So all those lights are going to work. Okay, now that's connected. We need to press the light strip into the slots in the stand in the indicated order. So we start at the bottom. That can now connect all the way up to the top, which is quite a simple and actually rather satisfying process. As that goes up there, and we're going to put it down here so we can actually see the rest of it. That pops in. I really like the material of this LED strip covering, actually. It's like a rubber, but it feels really high quality, actually. And feels quite nice in the hands. Well, that's actually gone too high, actually. How has that gone too high? Have I done something wrong? That connects up via that. So that just goes, boom, connects. That then goes back in and hopefully actually pulls back through. Oops. Yeah, there we go. That then connects at the bottom. You're supposed to connect the bottom first, like that. Then connect the top, actually, before you connect the entire rest of it. So let's connect the top next. Like so. And then the rest of it needs to go in this order. So it needs to go in the middle first. And I guess because it's a sort of bendy material, it should be able to all squeeze in just about okay. Yeah, there we go. Right. Then the top. It's all just about getting squeezed in there. And that's why it's important to follow all the instructions instead of just trying to do it all at the beginning. That connects all into there, and then we finally finish off with the bottom of the device, which goes in like this. That just all connects up rather nicely indeed, and that actually looks really smart from first inspection, as we just fill in a lot of the areas that still need to go in. I was slightly confused initially because I thought it was too long, but that feels smooth, that feels smooth, that all looks and feels smooth. Let me just check it's all pushed in correctly. That looks and feels great. That's now pretty much the entire thing fully assembled. It's long and it looks clean though. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna plug it in, because I believe that's the, connect it up to a power outlet. We're going to plug it in, so let's see how that process works. Should be fairly straightforward. We've got the actual connector device here, which we're going to firstly connect to the base, which is very important. So we'll do that first, connect that up nice and simply. It's got two arrows actually on the top to indicate where you need to press them together. Press them together like that, and there's also a screw which actually connects both of these together, so they're not going to go anywhere. This section then goes into the actual plug, and now we have power. Well, not yet, but we're gonna have power after I plug this in. So let's get ourselves a plug here and see how it looks. Are you ready? Okay, I plugged it in and it's already lighting up, which is fantastic. Look at that. That looks amazing. So, of course, you can turn the lights on and off. So on, off with the power. The mode, so you can have different modes. Let's press the M button. Looks like a sort of white light, and if we press this bottom button as well, that increases the brightness, and if I keep tapping it and holding it, it then decreases it as well. Let's go to a different mode. This one is a, well, what is it? It's a light moving type mode, so the lights sort of fade up in different gradients. Then you've got a sort of flashing mode between different options. And the best part about this product is you can actually control it through the Neewer Home app. Oh, this is the music mode. Oh, I see. Hang on. Oh yeah, there's the music mode. That looks great. Okay, now we've got to try and put it up against the wall, really, haven't we? Let's change the mode to something else. Let's change this to nice glow, nice and bright. That goes up against the wall. And let's see how it looks. Yeah, that looks cool. If I put it up behind me, obviously it's not going to be there normally. Turn it up to maximum brightness. So that's on low. There's no indication of how to actually know when it's at the max brightness, but that's got to be it right there. Let's change the different modes. Oh wow, yeah, that looks great.
Start charging.
No. Let me change the brightness up to the max again.
Start charging.
Okay. That's the different coloured modes. That's our sort of globe effect, and that's just like a single colour. How do we change the colour? Of course, you can do it all in the app as well, the Neewer Home app. It's a fantastic app that you can use for it, but I want to see how you can actually, can you change the colour on this? Let's see. Short press to cycle through 7 modes. Short and long press for that. So if I hold down this, does it change the colour? I don't think so. Oh, well look at this. We've got fancy modes as well. So hopefully this is going to be a really nice addition to the background here of the ZapFeed studio. I want to try and add some colour to the background essentially. So again, a big thank you to Neewer for sending this product out for review. Installation, assembly, really simple, easy process, and clearly the product so far looks absolutely excellent. So if you want to learn more about this product, you want to hear my full thoughts after I've had a little bit of time with it, a little bit of time to digest and use it, then make sure to check out the full review, which will be linked on the screen right now. Of course, make sure to subscribe to the channel as well if you haven't done so already, so you don't miss out on any of our future content. Thank you so much for watching this unboxing, and I'll see you in the next one.